welcome to In the Wall with me, partner Kligerman. Not coming to you from the studio, but actually my apartment, and more specifically from my simulator, because this is the only type of motorsports going on in the world, and it has been a crazy week in the eMotorsports, eSports world, starting last Sunday with the Replacements 100, which I raced in replace of the Atlanta Cup race, finished 5th. Then we had the NASCAR Pro iRacing Series, which Logan Clempett, our driver for Kligerman and eSports, and Ashton Crowder finished 2nd and 10th. Over 280,000 people watched that race. 80,000 watched the Replacements 100 on Twitch alone. And then it all culminated with the iRacing Pro Invitational, which was yesterday on Sunday, where a bunch of Cup drivers, including myself, raced against each other on TV, on iRacing. And so I thought, to start this show off, we're going to dive into all that stuff. Why not take a look at my simulator that I raced from? So, this is the FGT. Comes from Amazon, $500. It's a little shoddy. Probably need to work on that. Don't love that. But this wheel is a Fanatic wheel. I've had this actual wheel for about 10 years. The base, this is like the third one of these I've had. It's got a shifter. And then the coolest part is my pedals, the Ricmo Tech pedals. These are the most expensive thing on the actual simulator, and they feel exactly like real life. Even got brake master cylinders. Awesome. One thing you might be noticing though, there's this blueness on top of the monitors here. That's something really high tech. It's actually tape, because it's what I use to reference where the monitors are, because they like to move around on the sim, and that really annoys me. Yeah. All right, so speaking of the Pro Invitational, one of the guys that finished in the top 3 was Timmy Hill. We're going to bring him onto this show over the internet on Zoom and talk to him now.
All right, so we have Timmy Hill on through the internet on Zoom. Very exciting. Thanks for joining, Timmy. Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely.
First of all, awesome race yesterday. That had to feel good running at the front, being up there. But first and foremost, being front row to that finish had to be a pretty cool thing.
It was. You know, I was trying my best to be part of it, and I was just a little too far back. But no, when they came off turn 4, I saw Dale had a pretty good run. And I thought, man, he's going to get him. And then they bounced off each other, and he lost the momentum. Then he took the victory. But, no, it was awesome. Then I was with Chase Briscoe, and we were nose to nose. And then I kind of took focus off the 2 leaders. You know, I was trying to edge Briscoe out, and I barely got him, too, because he could have had 3rd as well. But, no, those 2 put on a heck of a show.
Yeah, for sure. So have you seen a picture of Denny's rig?
I have, yeah.
Yeah,
I have.
And Dale's. And then we had a picture of yours, and you were at a desk in a regular desk chair, the one you're at right now, I'm assuming.
Yes.
And you got a G27 wheel, which is like $300.
Yep.
And there you are running with some of the best in the world. I mean, that's the crazy thing about this whole sim racing deal, is it's not about your equipment, right?
So it's funny, because this wheel right here is a wheel that I bought when I started sim racing probably 10 years ago.
Oh my
gosh. It's been like Old Faithful. And like I said, I think they posted the stats for iRacing, and I think I have like 1,600 starts. So that's all on this wheel. It's stayed put together. But
nice.
No, I'm totally jealous about Denny and the different ones with nice setups, because it looks awesome. It looks sick. So I wish I had something like that. But no, this thing it does what it needs to do. And then when I'm not iRacing, I just slide my monitor on over to this side, and I do my paperwork and my taxes and my race team stuff over here.
Yep.
So it works all kinds of purposes.
That's awesome. I just think that's the coolest thing. You got, multi-$1,000 setups, and then you can compete with those guys with just what you got. So that's the coolest part of sim racing. I wanted to be there, but I stayed out on 2 tires like an idiot. And I started with you guys, but was not going to be able to hold there. So one of the funniest things I think in that race was the in-game chat.
Yep.
So so we now know what drivers would be telling each other if we could all talk to each other in the race, because that was one of the funniest ones. I could think, like, one was Kyle, where he goes, basically he was telling me I had some damage, and I just came on and said, yeah, that was you, Kyle, because he had run in the back of me. What was your favorite in-game chat moment?
That was a good one. I think when Larson keyed up and says, man, I think Mr. H is going to have to sit down with you two.
Yeah, that's right.
Bowman and William, when they wrecked each other down the front straightaway. I thought that was really funny. But trust me, there's too many to count. I was thoroughly enjoying it.
Those were so awesome. I think I've heard here in Dale is trying to put together like a like a compilation of all those. So we might be outed here soon on that in-game chat. The only other funny one was Ryan Truex, who didn't know he was talking on in-game chat and may have spoken derogatorily about someone, and that was the funniest thing ever. We're all like, "Hey, man, we all heard that. Who are you talking about?"
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, sorry. I saw something else I thought was cool. So you were just racing in a polo shirt. Like a lot of guys are in workout gear or something, like, because we sweat a lot, and you're just there like looking like you just walked off the golf course or something, or like just chilling.
Hey, those things breathe well, So, yeah, I didn't know what to wear. Some days I wear a tank top, some days I don't. But my wife came up, and she watched the race downstairs on the television and come back up. And she says she didn't know how to react. She didn't know if I was mad, if I was happy. She's like, "You didn't win, but are you happy?" So I said, "Yeah, I'm happy." She says, "I'm going to do a quick video." So, okay, wing it.
That's great. Yeah, all the post-race videos were awesome. I thought everyone did a great job of those. My girlfriend was the same way. She was like, "So you did well. You were on TV a lot." I was like, "Yeah, we didn't do well. Not happy." So something else. I don't know if you saw. Did you watch the broadcast back at all?
I did. Last night. I watched the whole thing. It was. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I thought so too. But the part that stuck out to me was, did you see Dale in the pre-race basically giving you? He was rooting for you.
Yeah, that was neat. My wife said, "Do you know he did that?" I said, "No, I didn't." I said, "I'm glad I'm his favorite." I said, "I would think he's rooting for himself." But man, that was a lot of pressure. I'm glad I knew that ahead of time. I felt bad. I didn't win there.
Well, I think the fans agreed, because you actually were 8th on like the most mentions throughout the whole race out of all the drivers. So I don't know if you saw that.
I did. I saw that pop up on my Twitter feed, and that was really cool because, of course, somebody like myself, I don't get too many mentions, so or at least not positively. But so I'm glad that the fans reached out. I got all their messages. It was really overwhelming. So I appreciate all the messages and kind support.
That's awesome. So, all right. So, like, sim racing to me is the coolest thing. One, we talked about the equipment stuff and that sort of thing, but what we saw there yesterday was guys like you, Garrett Smithley, racing with Denny Hamlin, Dale Earnhardt Jr., William Byron, guys who, let's be honest, in a typical race weekend, you guys are in such vastly different equipment. That's just not possible. I mean, do you feel like, and one of the reason I support this so much is I feel like this, sim racing esports has the chance to kind of find that equal ground and be a great equalizer to show the talent of drivers like yourself. So has anyone been reaching out saying like, "Man, you ran really well up there. Like, let's see that translate." Do you feel like that could be a possibility if you keep doing that sort of thing and showing off these iRacing skills?
What It would be really neat, and I would like that. Yeah, because it's like you said, it's very different because most racing weekends, I'm in a car that's typically 5 years old, and I'm putting on tires that are 15 laps old, and I got a motor that's 50 or 100 horsepower down. So when we can load into a race like with iRacing put on for us, and I have the same motor, the same tires, the same race car, and we can kind of just go out and duke it out and see who can drive it the best. That's kind of neat. So I was glad I can kind of capitalize on that. I'm sure you feel the same way. You've done a lot of the same things I've done in my career, so you know how it can be. So if that can happen, that'd be kind of special. Obviously, iRacing has its differences, but it also has a lot of similarities to real life. So I hope I can keep putting on good shows. I'm going to practice like heck and do my best, and I think I can continue doing the same things.
So have you tried Texas yet, the new one?
No. So iRacing came out with the new Texas, which we've been racing on the old pavement. So I'm on level playing field. So if you turn the lap on Texas on the new pavement, you're one step ahead of me right now because I haven't.
So I did about 20 laps. We're in for it. If we thought blocking was bad at Miami, where it probably shouldn't have happened. That was the funniest thing was people were throwing. So Ross Chastain and William Byron wrecked right in front of me. We run the top 5, that wreck. And it was because they were blocking. And I was like, guys, the tires matter so much. What are we doing blocking? Like, what? Now, looking ahead to Texas, I actually think we're going to probably be wanting to block. So this could get pretty dirty.
Yeah, it's like you said, tires meant a lot. I mean, you saw how quickly Garrett and I got ate up there at the end by both Dale and Denny. And I know you're probably doing the same thing I was. At times, I was hoping this race could go green flag because that's where really a lot of the driver skill comes out. Who's preparing these tires or saving them, I should say, the best for the end of a run. And at times I would try to do that. And finally I kind of gave it up and said, heck, I got to get to the front because we don't have long enough runs to do this. And so hopefully, I think guys are going to participate. These drivers are going to participate and practice more than they did last week. I think they understand that you can't just jump right into this deal and then go after it. I think it takes a little more patience, a little more practice. So I think this race we'll probably see more green flag runs.
Yeah, hopefully. I was rooting for green flag runs too, because that's what I felt like. If I could just get like a long run, I could show like, oh, I've got all this speed, and all I worked on all week was long runs. It was like all I did was long runs. I was like, that's why I gotta be good. And then we never got any long runs. And the only long run we had, I was on 2 tires, and my left sides were about 40 laps old, so I was totally screwed. But hey, I don't know if you can do this. Could you show us your setup there with your camera real quick?
Yeah.
Is that possible?
Yep.
I want everyone to see this.
Okay.
Take us for a little tour.
All right. I'm going to spin this thing around. So here's my wheel.
Yep.
I'm trying to look at the screen. And then below there is the pedal set. Nice pedal set. However, somehow my clutch pedal stopped working, so I don't have a clutch app. So I got to run the auto blip. There's my computer. And then this is what I was talking about. So I slide my stuff over and I do my text right here. I kind of push this back. There's my area where I work. And there's my filing cabinet. And I'll just take you for a quick tour around the room. I got like a little man cave. My wife told me she was tired of seeing my, so to speak, Timmy Hill Museum around the entire house. So I got podcasts.
You're shrine to yourself?
My cat's right there.
Nice.
I got a workout bike. I do a little bit of 5K running. You see some of the medals on the wall. I like to collect stuff. I do some golfing as well. So I have when I go golfing, I try to collect the golf ball at every new course I do.
Love it.
So I see quite a few there. There's my Rookie of the Year suit from the XFINITY Series, Nationwide Series at the time, and some other cool things on the wall. But that's like my little museum, and that's my setup.
This is awesome. That's the funny thing about this time. We all get to see each other's homes basically and set up. So it's really cool. Well, hey, Beth, thanks for joining us. Best of luck in Texas. Just finish behind me. That'd be really appreciated. And,
give me a little time to shine.
Yeah, give me the time to shine this time. Come on, man. I'm not getting stuck on 2 tires again. That was dreadful. Normally, though, on this show, I kick people off at this point, but I don't know how to work Zoom very well, so I'm just going to say bye. And we're going to go answer a bunch of fan questions, Twitter, and hopefully send in all your questions using hashtag in the wall.
Okay, we'll see you.
See you, bud. All right, so this is the part where we get into all of the tweets we found about the iRacing Pro Invitational Series race that were awesome. There was a ton of social conversation. At one point, it was actually trending #1 on Twitter, which is amazing. But some of the best ones we saw out there. So Gabe McLaughlin got bored, so I decided to keep track of the points for the NASCAR Pro Invitational. Love that. I'd like to win that point championship. Right now, I guess I'm like, 13th? So, I'm liking my chances. I was running top 10 about 2 laps ago, but my tires, I was on 2 tires and old tires, and I had a little right rear damage, and I was a sitting duck. And then Eric Jones and Matt DiBenedetto used their right sides to just move me out of the way twice in a row. So that hurt. All right, another one here from, I guess this is at Heavy Metal Patriot. All right. He says, can we get Dale or Ty Majeski or a seasoned iRacer to do the driver's meeting for the next race and explain to the drivers how not to ARCA brake, as us iRacers call it. So ARCA braking is a bit of a joke from watching the ARCA races at Daytona and Talladega, where there's a wreck, and then about 20 seconds later, someone comes piling in because they just apparently didn't want to slow down for the wreck and know there was a caution. I think that comes with experience. I think one of the biggest things is a lot of these guys probably need to just have live spotters that can tell them that. Because it's really hard to see in iRacing far enough ahead when you're coming into a wreck, how big it is, and not knowing when the caution's going to get thrown. So I think that could help a little bit, but it's also just getting used to the sim. And I think we saw those last 20 laps, we were better as a group, and hopefully that transfers into the next one. So ARCA braking's on us now. We should just not be running into each other. What's this one? All right. Phil in Phoenix says, at Dale Jr., is there a 40-car limit for the Pro Invitational Series? I'd love to see guys like Tony Stewart and countless others get involved. There's basically a limit because they have to have room for the broadcasters, I believe, and, not having to have too many. But I'd say, hey, if anyone's willing, if you've been a NASCAR driver in the last, so many years, Bob Labonte was in it, come on out. The more the better. So I'm probably talking myself out of a spot in the race, but I love it, and I just think it's cool to see guys like Bobby Bonnie get involved, Dale Earnhardt Jr. to get back in a Cup Series race. That was cool. So the more the merrier. I say bring it all on. If Tony Stewart wants to come out, come on out. This one's from Gary. Yesterday's winner at Denny Hamlin rig has been upgraded from the early days. This is where we should place a picture of a picture of him back from the Inner 3 days, where he's in like a old metal seat, and he's got like a CRT monitor that's the size of most sim rigs at this point these days. Yeah, his stuff has definitely been updated. That one he was racing on yesterday is quite expensive, but pretty awesome. Garth Allen, a thought after watching today's NASCAR Pro Invitational Series. Run 1 or 2 points races a year on iRacing. Should the Cup Series go completely virtual? No, but maybe this is the answer to getting back to tracks that can't feasibly hold a Cup race like North Wilkesboro. All right, I'm going to say no, don't do that. This is cool for now. It's cool to, use iRacing to put out some entertainment out there going through this tough time in the world. But no, we should not move entirely to that. The eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series is the top iRacing series. It should stay that way. I think you could do special events that'd be fun with Cup guys at North Wilkesboro and everything, but not for points. I saw some tweets from people saying that this could be the end of real racing. Remember, it's a simulation of real racing. You need real racing to happen to be able to simulate it. So no, real racing is not going away, and in no way should this replace real racing. It's just an awesome addition. That's it for In the Wall. Send in your questions, comments, concerns. We're going to try and keep doing this from home, I guess, maybe from different setups and different locations. But use hashtag In the Wall, and please send it in. Let's have a chat, and please watch the next iRacing Pro Invitational Series race and the eNASCAR Series. You can catch all that on iRacing's Twitch, and maybe even I'll have a Twitch. Who knows? All right, we'll see you later.
Hey, Motorsports fans, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe before you go for all the latest news and highlights across motorsports.